I think, chat, that we're at a point in the pack where we can start looking at the solar panel section of the quest book here. The quests, by the way, are not particularly long. We're actually quite close to the end of the QTech quests. There are a few down here that we've not done, but mainly now we just have the solar panel quest, which I assume continue along after this quest here, because the end goal of this pack is to craft an ultimate solar panel, which is quite a hefty craft. It's going to require a ton of resources and quite a bit of automation, but in general, it should be pretty doable. And actually, I think one of the first things that I'd like to do at the start of today's stream is make the old crafting calculator here for the maths quest, because what we can do with the crafting calculator is we can get an idea of how much of each resource we're going to need to actually get that highest tier of solar panels. So the way that this works is if you right click, you can add recipes to it and kind of teach it how to make things, and then it will tell you which, like, the base ingredients required to make a certain item. For example, if we type in over here solar, and we teach it how to make this leadstone solar panel, which you can do by clicking the recipe in JEI, or clicking R, sorry, while hovering over it, and then shift clicking on the moves item button, and then we click save. Now the crafting calculator knows how to make these solar panels. So if I put the solar panel in like so, it'll tell us that we need 3 photovoltaic cells, 1 leadstone solar core, and 3 steel nuggets. This on its own, not particularly useful. The fact that you can type in how many you want and this updates is a little bit useful, but the part where this becomes even more useful is that we can then teach it, for example, how to make the photovoltaic cells by doing the same method and clicking save. And now, instead of telling us that we need 3 photovoltaic cells, it tells us that we need 3 lapis shards, 3 glass panes, and 3 iron nuggets, right? And we can repeat this process kind of over and over again until our system knows how to make all of the things required for all of the solar panels, at which point we can then figure out like how much iron, how much redstone, how much glass, how much sand, how much of all of the kind of base Minecraft resources that we need if we want to make the ultimate solar panel. And I imagine it's going to be quite a lot of resources. You'll see already, even though it doesn't yet know how to make all of these solar cores, we already need 145,000 or 147,000 iron nuggets. If we then teach it that iron nuggets are made via iron, we could see that's 16,000 iron ingots just to get basically all of the photovoltaic cells there, which is already pretty insane. But we can, of course, take this one step further. If we teach it how to make all of the actual solar cores themselves, we'll see the number of resources likely jump quite a bit, I think. So we'll go with Signalum, and then, of course, Enderium, or Resident even, Advanced, and Ultimate. And so now, if we again select this guy, you can see we're kind of getting more of an idea of all the resources that we need if we're going to get 1 ultimate solar cell, which again is all we need for the completion of the quest book. Now we can, I think, still break this down a little further. If we teach it how to make the lapis shards there, and we teach it how to make the old blazing crystal, we can also teach it how to make Enderium, which is easy enough. Again, you can just hover over any of these and shift click the recipes in. But I would like, if possible, to really get down to the base resources, just to get an idea of like how much iron we need, how much osmium we need, how much glass we need, all that kind of stuff. Some things are a little harder to break down, like this liquid DT fuel, for example, is not a crafting recipe, and I think the same is kind of true for this stuff here, the lithium dust. Like, it goes through a process that requires lithium, and then to make that you have to go through the thermal evaporation controller. So this one a little more difficult to figure out, but some of these are not too bad. We can go ahead and save that. What else do we have? I think we'll teach it that glass panes are made from glass, and that glass is made from sand. Then we have to teach it that it needs biofuel, and I think, chat, that for now I'm going to teach it to make biofuel using oak saplings. Because I'm thinking what we might do today is maybe set up a tree farm of some description so we can start to get quite a lot of them. You'll see right now it only says that we need 18 oak saplings, which seems like, not a lot and maybe not cause for a tree farm. However, the HDPE sheets, I think, are really where all of this is going to come into focus, because to make the HDPE sheets, we need HDPE pellets, so we'll teach it that. To make HDPE pellets, we need substrate, oxygen, and flowing liquid ethylene, so we'll go ahead and encode that as well. And then to make the substrate, we need biofuel, right? So I guess you can duplicate it with ethylene, but we're probably going to use this method here with the water, the hydrogen, and the biofuel. So if we save that, suddenly we need 2,385 oak saplings if we want to make this highest tier of solar panel. And I think at that point, chat, this is basically as broken down as it can be. We've got redstone, emerald, sand. I guess we can break down iron bars right into just iron. We can also break down silicon wafers into their component parts, that being sand and coal. So yeah, I think we're now at a point where most of this is fully broken down. The things that aren't broken down, like the lithium dust and the osmium crystals and the liquid DT fuel, are not broken down because they require like a process to be made. But in general, this is what we're going to need if we want to craft the ultimate solar panel. We need 128,000 iron. We need 34,000 redstone. 84 diamonds, which again is lower than I thought it would be. Almost 100,000 coal, 88,590. And then 2,385 saplings, which is, I think, where I want to start today. I think what we're probably going to do is set up a plant sower and a plant gatherer, which will allow us to automate the planting, growing, and harvesting of trees, which not only gives us wood, for making like chests and crafting tables and sticks and planks, etc., but it also gives us that added benefit of slowly but surely building up a backlog of saplings that hopefully eventually we can use to make a ton of biofuel and to make a ton of HDPE sheets for those solar panels. So if we want to make the plant gatherer and the plant sower, we could also, if we wanted to, look at making the plant harvester. However, for now, I don't really think that is going to be strictly necessary. Speaking of wood, we are actually fresh out, which is, again, one of the reasons why this is probably a good time for us to make a new one. Let me sleep real quick, and then we'll go and do some wood chopping and see if we can't make this plant sower and plant gatherer. Now, by default, much like a lot of the machines from Industrial Foregoing, these only work in a 1x1 area, so they work in like a 1-block zone. However, of course, using the range add-ons, we can increase the range of both the planter and the harvester. And I think maybe we'll go for tier 5. It requires glass, redstone, and blaze powder. Of course, we do have our blaze spawner downstairs that you may be able to hear in the background. So we should have, I think at this point, quite a few blaze rods. We do indeed. And also, apparently, a couple of non-blaze mobs have managed to like spawn inside of that dark room, which I guess makes a little bit of sense. But for now, we'll go ahead and grab that. And in fact, if we look at the calculator here, we need 596 blaze rods, which I think we actually are not quite at. But we're getting there. We need 9 stacks of blaze rods. Currently, we have just over 8. So we are getting there, chat. We're actually fairly close to having all the blaze rods that we need to craft up that highest tier of solar panel, which is, of course, very nice indeed. Let's quickly grab some redstone, and let's also grab some glass pins. Now, if we're going to make latex, of course, we do have to go and drop some plastic into water. So we'll throw both of these buckets over into the old dissolution chamber here. And then we'll, of course, drop in the blaze, the redstone, and the glass pins, like so. And that should hopefully fairly quickly get us what we're after here. And I think, finally, chat, we might be able to use the speed upgrade that we made previously. I made this a few streams back, hoping it would work in the dissolution chamber. Unfortunately, it did not. But thankfully, I believe we can, if we want, use these speed upgrades with our planter and or harvester. I think the harvester is probably the more sensible place to use it, so we can cut down trees nice and fast. But there we go. That should be done any second now. We should have 2 range upgrades. We do indeed fantastic. And so let's go and see if we can't put these guys down. So the plant sower goes beneath the ground. And so I think for now, we'll probably put it like right about here. I am going to get rid of this farm. So again, if we look by default and we click the little show working area, you'll see it works in this very tiny zone. But if we add in our tier 5 range add-on, now it covers quite a large area. Again, maybe still too big of an area. I don't necessarily think we need this many or that many trees, even though we do, of course, need 2,300 saplings. We do have quite a bit of time before we need to actually have those ready for us to get. And then the actual plant gatherer goes down on the edge of this square, so I think right about here. I believe that is correct. If we go ahead and hide the working area here and show the working area here, again, by default, very small, but if we add in the range add-on, I believe that now covers the exact same working zone as the plant gatherer, or the plant sower even. So that should work just fine. Now, one of the things we are going to have to do here is we are going to have to get power to both of these, and we're also going to have to cycle back the saplings that come out of the plant gatherer into the plant sower. So let's do something like this, and we'll have cables going there, and of course cables going up and around into there as well. So make sure this is set to output. That should begin to provide power to all of these. It does indeed. And at that point, if we start putting in our saplings, we can, if we want to, specify that we do only want saplings to be planted in these areas. But by default, it will just plant them if you don't specify. So that should start planting those saplings. It is indeed fantastic. We probably do want to go and see if we have a few more in our system, just because I doubt we're going to have enough to fill that whole area there. People in chat actually do point out that we can use XNet to move our items around, and of course we can even use XNet to provide power as well. So you know what? Sure. We did a good deal of XNet last time, and so I don't want the whole stream, or every stream from now on, to be XNet focused, but at the same time, it is a very powerful model. We even taught our system, I think, how to make the connectors. We did indeed. So we only need the one more here. And we might already have network cable. We do indeed. We should probably, if we can, teach our system how to make the network cable. Although, I don't think that we have, string, or an easy way to automate the creation of string. So that could be like our biggest issue. But really, if we have XNet cable over here, we can use XNet to move the items and the power. And even if we wanted to, we could use it to move the excess sludge that is going to be produced by the plant gatherer that I think we probably just want to void. So in that case, let's have a connector here and a connector there. And then let's go and see if we can't connect this up to our main controller. We're definitely not going to have enough cable on us with the 20 that we have. But hopefully we can make some more fairly easily. We might, chat, have to go and get some wool if we want to get some more string, because 2 is most certainly not going to be enough. I don't think we have any wool. Yeah, we don't. All right, in that case, chat, let me go and grab some wool real quick, which I think is easiest done near spawn. Now that we have our XNet cables connected over, you'll see we do have quite a few spruce trees here as well. Let's head on over to our XNet connector and see if we can't get this show on the road. So we now have, hopefully, our plant gatherer and our plant sower. So for that, we just need to go ahead and create an insert on Powah, like so and like so. So now both of those should be online. We then, on the item channel, need to extract, and I guess we could, if we, I don't know how I want to do this actually, because we could, if we wanted to, just insert the resultant items into the import chest that we're using for everything else, but I think we're probably going to want to have mechanism bins for these. Because if we just import all of the items into, this chest and through into the system, we're going to start to run into space issues very quickly. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to grab some mechanism bins. I also think we're probably going to want to get some higher tier bins. Actually, I don't know. 4,096 might be fine. Again, looking at the calculator here, we only need 2,385 saplings. So yeah, you know what? This will be fine. Let's get 1, 2, 3. Oh, these don't stack, of course. I forget. Let's get 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. And I think I will store them outside. We're going to have to put storage buses on them anyway. And by that, I mean external storage on them anyway. So I think that's fine. Our system doesn't quite yet know how to make some of this stuff right, which is a little unfortunate. It does, however, know how to make quartz-enriched iron. So let me get like a stack of that, if we can. And then while we're waiting for that, let's also get some chests here. Now, I guess actually, in reality, we probably only need like 2 external storages. 1 for saplings, because we need that for auto-crafting, and 1 for wood. I don't really think we need an external storage for apples, and I also don't think we need 1 for sticks either. So I think 2 should be fine. We could really, if we wanted to, by the way, put these anywhere, these bins. But I think for now I am going to, I'm going to put them inside. I was going to say we could put them over by the tree farm, but if we're going to connect these to our refined storage system, it makes a lot more sense to put them down near to a pre-existing refined storage cable. And they do, of course, also have to be connected via XNet if we want the XNet cable to be able to put things in there. So real quick, let me go and grab some more XNet connectors. And also, chat, I am taking a few little detours here, but I really want a wireless crafting grid. This guy here. Do we have what it takes to make this? I think we do. We need another crafting monitor, but I think this is not going to be too difficult for us to make. So we need a machine casing, which requires a block of quartz-enriched iron, easy enough. And then the actual machine casing itself shouldn't be too bad. We now, of course, have a ton of tungsten, and our system does know how to make the old bismuth brass. Let's get 1 of you, and of course 1 of you, at which point that should be the basic grid taken care of. Upgrading that to a crafting grid is nice and easy, just so long as you have a crafting table lying around. And at that point, chat, we should have everything it takes to make a wireless crafting grid. Nice. And for now, I think we can probably get away by putting this into a charger of some description. I think our quantum entangler might be able to do the job for us. It can't. Ooh. I know we can normally charge this up in the old biogenerator, but our biogenerator is full. We might have to craft some kind of energy cube just to be able to store or charge up our wireless crafting terminal here. There we go. So now we have this guy. We can put him down basically anywhere for now, and that should allow us to charge up our wireless crafting grid. Fantastic. Really doesn't hold that much power, but that's fine. And then back over here, we do now need to get ourselves a wireless transmitter, which again shouldn't be too difficult here. I think we have everything it takes to make another machine casing. We do indeed. Fantastic. Now, we do, at this point, have to think about wireless range, because by default, this has a range of 16 blocks, which is not particularly far. Also, does this work? Oh no, we have to right-click this on the controller, I think. Shift right-click. There we go. Beautiful. So now we can access our system anywhere within 16 blocks. I am also going to go into my controls here, type in wireless, and I'm going to change this open wireless crafting grid control from control G to Z, which is my go-to for being able to open this up wirelessly. So now we don't even have to have it on our hotbar. We can have it anywhere in our inventory. I can hit Z, and I can open up the old crafting terminal there, which is fantastic. Now, if we want to be able to use it further afield, we need to get range upgrades, I assume. So these are a little expensive, at least on the ender pearl front. However, we do have a few of those still lying around. How much extra range do you get from this? Not much is the answer. Not much at all. We can also, of course, if we want to, go and get more ender pearls fairly easily. Let's quickly request some more quartz enriched iron. We should be able to just go ahead and grab some gold and trade with our villager friend upstairs. I am being told by the Twitch chat that it is exponential. So hopefully the more of these we put in, the faster the number will go up. Like we started at 16, we went up to 24. Hopefully, after this next one, we'll go up to like 3,000 blocks. 32. I don't know if it is exponential, man. It's gone from 16 to 24 to 32. It's gone up by 8 every time. I assume the logic is that you're supposed to put down multiple wireless transmitters around the base, which is actually not too bad. It's not great, but it's not terrible. Either way, now that we have our wireless crafting grid and we've kind of finished with that tangent, let me go and put down these bins here. I think for now, I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll find a more permanent home for these at some point in the future. For now, I might like put them in the wall or something. But for now, if we just put an external storage here and let's say here, and we'll have, you know, wood and saplings in both of these slots. We do, of course, at that point also want to get more connectors. I also want to make sure this is set to auto select. So we have one. Let's go ahead and get 3 more, because we need one on the front of each of these. And let's go quickly see if our tree farm A is working, which I believe it should be now, that it has power. It is indeed. We do have a little guy up there, but that's fine. And yeah, this is very full, which is fantastic. I will go ahead and plant those manually, although we will transfer those with XNet fairly soon here. Actually, I do need like at least one of these so I can get the bin going. I also don't think you can lock mechanism bins, which is slightly annoying. Can you whitelist via the external storage? I think you can, right? You can. Okay, good. So we'll have saplings in there. We'll have spruce logs in here. We'll have sticks in here. And I actually don't think we're going to get apples because we're not using oak saplings. So I think these might just be the 3 things that we get out of this this setup here, which is actually perfectly fine. So we'll do you and you. There's already a cable right above us there, so we can just connect that up like so. Fantastic. And so now, if we head on back up to our connector, we should be able to basically automate this entire tree farm from within our controller. So there are a few things here, I guess, that we want to take into consideration. We want to extract from the plant gatherer, and we want to insert into the plant sower. I think for this, we might want to actually get a new channel going, because otherwise I think we can end up inserting into this chest here, right? I think we could, if we wanted to, like whitelist and blacklist certain things to go into the plant sower. But I think it might be just easier if we get a new channel. So we'll go items, create. We will extract from the plant gatherer. We will insert into the plant sower. We'll also insert into the basic bin here, here, and here. We want to make sure the plant sower is whitelisted for spruce saplings. And we also want to make sure that the plant sower is of a higher priority. We'll go with 10 for now. So I think if we do this, that should send spruce saplings from the harvester back around into the plant sower automatically. The items are being pulled out here. They're being pulled out somewhat slowly. I think I want to make sure that we have the stack upgrade enabled. It's not an upgrade. We want to make sure the stack button is clicked. There. So I think that should work. This does say BL, but I think if we click that, then it enables blacklist. I think by default, blacklist is disabled, and therefore whitelist is enabled. But I think this is working. The only thing that might not be working... Oh, no, it looks like it's totally working. The saplings do appear to be in there, which is good. That is completely empty. We can, if we want, go ahead and grab another fluid trash can, like the one that we have over here, or liquid trash can, and use that to void some of the sludge that's backing up inside of our harvester. Because I believe that the harvester does work slower whilst it is backed up on sludge. I'm also fairly certain there are, other uses for sludge, but for the time being, I'm fairly certain we can void it and not have to worry about it too much. And again, it doesn't really matter where we put the liquid trash can, so long as it is connected to a connector of some description, it should be fine. So we can actually probably just put it like right about there, and then up on our controller. We're going to have to set up our first fluid channel. That's fine. Fluid, create. We're going to extract from the plant gatherer, and we're going to insert into the fluid trash, like that. And that should hopefully speed things up quite a bit, chat. Yeah, that's definitely working. So this guy is filling up on saplings. Our bins downstairs should be filling up on logs, on sticks, and on excess saplings. Now, we can, if we want to as well, speed this up. If we throw in some speed and efficiency upgrades in here, we do already have one on us. So if I go ahead and throw this guy in like so, that's going to hopefully start tearing these trees down a little bit faster. Now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think you can put both speed upgrades in. Like both the tier 1 and tier 2. I could be wrong about that. I'm going to go ahead and make a tier 2 speed upgrade. And then we'll see. If we can put them both in, then I will. Because that would be great. But I think you can only put one of, either one in. If we're going to make the tier 2 speed upgrade, I'd also like to make the tier 2 efficiency upgrade as well. Because I think that does also increase the speed as well. So both of these are made in the same way. They require diamond gears, glass, redstone, and then blaze rods and sugar. So blaze rods we of course have. Diamonds we do have, and although we are running a little low, I think we have more in here. Yeah, we've got 12 more diamond ore there. And of course, given that we have our digital miner, if we need more diamonds, we can always just go out specifically looking for diamonds like we did with emeralds and with tungsten before. So getting more of those really shouldn't be too difficult for us whatsoever. Glass panes are also nice and easy, and something that our system does know how to make if we do run out of them. And then sugar, we also have due to our small little sugarcane farm outside. So what's in the middle of these? Is it latex again? It is indeed. All right, quite a bit of latex required, but that is also fine. We are still doing, I think, fairly well when it comes to plastic, so not really something we have to worry about too much just yet. Let's grab 2 of these plastic sheets, and let's go quickly grab 2 buckets of latex. There we go. And at that point, we should be able to do you. I think it was you and you. I believe that gets us the speed upgrade. Tier 2. And then after that, we can go in with the efficiency upgrade as well, which is the exact same recipe. I was really hoping I could get those in. Boom, 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 and boom. But this time with the blaze rods, of course. Those are being auto-pulled into the system, which I think is fine. So we can actually head out and be ready for these because our wireless crafting terminal should let us grab them on the go. So tier 2, let's grab you and you. Fantastic. And like I said before, I don't think you can put both in here. So we have the tier 1 speed upgrade. I don't think I can put the tier 2 one in. No, I can't. It doesn't let me put that in. I can, however, I believe, if I take this out, put the tier 2 speed upgrade in, like that, and then put in the efficiency upgrade. And there we go. Look at that. That is tearing those trees down nice and quickly. We can also put one into, we can put this leftover speed add-on into here. It's less important with the plant sower because the trees, look at that. Oh, look at that, chat. It's getting torn down very quickly. And obviously, the faster these are torn down, the faster the other ones can grow. That is going to be so much wood, so fast. My goodness. I don't love the podzol that has infected our ground here. And like I said, it's a little less important that the plant sower be fast. It would be nice, of course, if it was faster than it is. But in reality, the bottleneck right now is just how long trees generally take to grow. And so I don't necessarily think it's super urgent that we speed up our plant sower. I think this is actually completely fine, chat. So we should now have, look at that, 2,700 spruce logs in the system just from that running for a few minutes there. And we also hopefully have a few, I was going to say a few saplings, although I guess it's going to take a little while because the saplings are, of course, going to first and foremost go to, oh, that's interesting. You've gone into, ooh, okay. Yes, let me rename this to spruce saplings. Let me rename this to sticks. And let me rename this to spruce logs. Because what's happening here is, although we've filtered the external storage to only put spruce saplings in here, what we've not done is we've not specified that our XNet system should only put spruce saplings in there, which is, I believe, the current problem. So if I quickly grab at least one of these, and while we're at it, we'll also grab a spruce log and a stick. We should be able to go and whitelist our system so that only the certain machines go in. Oh, the certain items go in. So like over here, we have sticks. So this one is whitelisted for sticks. We have spruce logs. So this one, of course, whitelisted for spruce logs. And finally, you guessed it, spruce saplings whitelisted for spruce saplings. There we go. All right. That should now, if we take all of those sticks out of the leftmost cache or bin, should only put spruce saplings in here. Perfect. And in fact, I'm fairly certain, chat, that if we don't want the system to get backed up, we are indeed going to have to increase the size of that bin downstairs because it can only hold 4,096 items, and we're pretty much already there on the wood. I don't really think we're going to need more than 4,096 wood, but I guess there's no harm. These are fairly cheap to upgrade, so we might as well go ahead and just pump this up quite a bit. And of course, we can upgrade it whilst keeping all of the current items in there. So the next tier is just some some infused alloy and advanced control circuits. Like so. Let's do you and you. And then the tier after that does require an elite control circuit, but I think that's very doable. And we should still have some reinforced alloys from earlier in the stream. We do indeed. Fantastic. So we'll do this as well. That can now hold up to 32,000 items. And then I think, chat, we might even be able to take it one step further here and go for the highest tier. Like that can hold 262,144 items. There is a higher tier, but I do not believe that the infinite version is craftable. It is not. So I'm fairly certain that this is as much wood as it is possible for us to hold in one single bin. And given the current speed at which we're getting wood, I don't think it's going to take us too long whatsoever to fill that up. Mostly due to the fact that the spruce trees are just so very big and they get torn down so very fast, which is only a good thing when it comes to a tree farm. There are no void upgrades. I think what we might want to do is we might want to get a trash can, like this guy here, an item trash can, and we might want to set things up in such a way with XNet. Like we can put a trash can like right here because it's connected to the blue connector. I think we want to set things up in such a way that excess wood is deleted, because the whole point of the tree farm, or one of the big points of the tree farm, is to allow us to get that those 2,335 saplings that we need to create the highest tier of solar panel. And we're not going to get that if we back up on wood and then the plant gatherer, backs up. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to put down a trash can here, which right now is going to do nothing. But what we can do is over in our XNet controller, we can set that as a place to insert items, but just lower its priority. That way, the XNet system will try and put items basically anywhere but that trash can first. So this line here is our item line. Down here, we're going to go on this guy, click create. We're going to set the priority to like -10. And I believe that should now insert any excess sticks or saplings or wood that we have into that system. So our tree farm is going to constantly work forever, but it will just delete any excess items that we might have, which eventually is going to become redundant, right? Once we have like enough, once we fill up the bins on sticks, on logs, and on saplings. But the main reason we want it is so that the system can keep going and get us those saplings, even once we fill up on wood, just because the wood is going to fill up so fast. So yeah, that should be a nice automated tree farm system that is going to continually produce wood, sticks, and saplings going forward, and hopefully, eventually, get us up to the 2,385 oak saplings that we need if we want to autocraft the ultimate solar panel.